One. Hello and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes. I'm Izzy.
I'm Raka. What up, people? It is another episode of What's Happening in Hollywood Rapid Fire.
Welcome back, Dead Air Dudes Nation. And we have
As
some tidbits and info, like Raka said, on what's the goings on of Hollywood. All right. I guess I'll start it off. Chris Hemsworth is not giving up on Thor just yet. After the next movie, Thor. I'm sorry. What's it called? Thor. Love and Thunder. I think it was called.
yeah.
I think it's Love and Thunder, where
Yeah. Supposedly he gives the mantle to
exactly.
his ex.
Yeah. Fox,
I don't blame him.
played by none other than Natalie Portman.
Other than some of the other Avengers who will remain nameless, who may opt to do other projects and are done with it and would like to move on, I think he has embraced Thor, and I think publicly has voiced that he would do this forever if he could.
Pretty much, that's exactly what he said. He was like Thor is 1,500 years old. I'm still young. He's still in his 30s. If I can do it as long as I can, I'll do it. I mean, not to mention it gives him an excuse to keep being in shape. Now we know for a fact that you want to go through it. Okay, we have Chris Evans is done. Boom.
Unfortunately, we have to mention Chadwick.
Okay, done. That's two. You have Robert Downey Jr. Done.
We have Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson.
Done.
We have supposedly the Hulk on the bubble.
On the bubble, you have Hawkeye, who after his series, the whole point he's giving up the mantle to the next Hawkeye, so he'll be done soon. So then, the original, you have Hulk, which, let's be honest, is not a Marvel Cinematic Universe property solo, and you have Thor. So, hey,
I think the Thor Ragnarok transcended the mainstream. It was more, and I see why now they've paired Thor with the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was more on that line where it was very lighthearted, comic bookish, more fantastic than things that happen on Earth. And maybe that's why they've paired the two together, and it also the comedic effect was extremely entertaining and well received.
well, definitely.
So
some of the best.
why stop it? I get it. You could tell they're having fun on set doing this stuff.
Of course, some of the best parts of the first two Thor movies was Thor fish out of water, Thor coming into Oh, by the way, I'm gonna drink you at a table. He drinks 65 beers while the other guy's knocked out. Anyway, moving on. Next, Wonder Woman 1984 delayed again to December, at least.
Well, if you're talking about delays, and I know we just mentioned Marvel and the whole thing, they have now pushed back everything even further. I think Eternals will be in February.
Eternals. Yeah, we mentioned it in the previous episode that it went back. It went back to.
I read somewhere, I think maybe in Screen Rant, I read somewhere where it's not even set, and they may even push it back even further.
Well, it's not mentioned that website that is up on everything. So, guys, the Dead Dudes got you. Not Screen Rant. No offense, but yeah. I mean, no, but this is basically because Tenet flopped at the box office, so Warner Brothers decided to move it back a little further to December, hoping that the virus that to be named COVID, kind of facilitate itself too, so more people can go actually watch it, because they refuse to put Tenet on VOD, and so
with Mulan coming out and charging a relatively astronomical price.
Which, by the way, was a huge success. It was enormous success for Disney Plus.
It was. I mean, if you think about it, it was built up very, very, very much. Now it comes out. and they're charging $10 over what the normal charge for videos on demand were.
Right.
But it got such pub, and they played it right because they really had no other competitor. You were kind of put in a position of it's either this and the kids want to watch it, the adults want to watch it, there's nothing else to watch, or there's nothing really else. So they played it right. I still think it was relatively too much, especially if you already were a Disney Plus member. I think there should have been a break for that. But that's my opinion. And then you have already done a standalone review. I will put one out there soon. My own views on Mulan. But judging from the success of Mulan, there's a domino effect to the other movie lines.
I mean, if Black Widow coming up in, I do believe, October, I'm pretty sure they're going to do a similar, deal with Black Widow as it did with Mulan, as they'll release it simultaneously on theater as well as VOD. But that being said, speaking of Mulan, there's a controversy going on. Would you like to get into that?
Let's jump into the fray. That's what we do here, Dead Air Dudes.
All right.
We are scared of nothing.
Basically, the majority of the movie was shot in New Zealand, and
As opposed
of
to
it,
China.
about 20 were shot in China's northwestern Jiang region to show off some of the unique landscapes. Okay, in the film's credits, the production gives special thanks to 8 different Chinese government organizations in the region. Now, here's where it gets dicey. In a region where reportedly an estimated 1 million members of mostly Muslim Uyghur ethnic minority have been forcibly placed in internment camps in order to assimilate them with China's majority Han population. Forced sterilizations, torture, and inhumane treatment were reportedly taking place, with some of Disney's thanked organizations allegedly said to be directly involved. Now, Disney acknowledged this. So it's not anything that's a secret. Chinese authorities have banned major media outlets from writing about the movie in order to avoid directing attention to the mounting overseas criticism of the film's ties to Xinjiang.
Surprise, surprise.
Disney's financial officer, Christine McCarthy, acknowledged on Thursday, which was like a week ago actually, so probably 2 weeks ago, during a Bank of America conference, that the choice to shoot there was, quote unquote, an effort to actually depict some of the unique landscape and geography of the country for this historical period piece. She also said it's well known that China requires government approvals, and so, quote unquote, it's common to acknowledge in the film's credits the national and local governments that allowed you to film there. Nevertheless, the move has, quote unquote, generated a lot of issues for us. It has generated a lot of publicity. Let's leave it at that. So Disney actually acknowledged the fact that, well, some shit's going on. We don't agree with it, but some shit's going on. So, yeah.
No shocker here. Follow the money, blood trail, whatever you want to call it. Integrity, and it's Disney, by the way, another shocker. Integrity is traded off for profit. I'm shocked that they acknowledged it. Maybe in their PR front, it's like, okay, we'll take ownership of it and we'll leave it at that.
Well, I mean,
it's BS.
Let's get in
That's
front
a
of
load
it.
of BS.
I mean, come on.
That's a load of BS, because it's not just, oh, yeah, we acknowledge that. You were part of it. In this world today, where we're all trying to address different social injustices and inequalities, you're talking about internment camps. You're talking about genocide. You're talking about human rights issues so you could film your damn movie. And I'm sorry, is there a dime from Mulan that's going to go to help these people?
Well, I mean, they kind of left that blank, or they kind of neglected to mention that. They did
Yes.
not
Well, I'm glad. I'm glad you brought.
acknowledge and move on. Acknowledge
I'm
and keep
glad
it
you
moving.
brought that up to the table. So everybody out there, you want to wear your Mickey Mouse hat, you want to go to the amusement parks and ride the rides and watch the movies. Great. Um, please don't turn a blind eye to the other factors and some other inequalities to the history of Disney
Well,
that totes themselves as to be angel goodwill.
if we're gonna get into it, I mean, Disney
No,
had
you had to put it out there. You had to put it out there, and
countless
I'm glad you
number
put
of
it out there.
history of everything going on with Disney. I mean, everyone can research it. There's a bunch of shit they've done, and they continue to do. Now,
I got
give
only
them
one thing to say on
kudos.
that. One last thing to say on that topic.
Yes.
Enough said. Enough said.
Upset.
Moving on.
Moving on. All right. Did you know they're making Scream 5?
No, and I have to ask why.
Second question, do you care that they're making Scream 5?
I don't think I saw anything past Scream 2.
Okay. January 14th, 2022, Nev Campbell, David Arquette, and Courtney Cox return with a cast of 10.
Wait. Hold the phone. You're going to release Scream 5 in January?
I mean,
That's ridiculous.
as of right now, dude, if COVID continues, who knows? It might be released in freaking,
Well, either way, it's poor planning.
2026 for all we know. But
This
yeah,
is a horror. This is a horror movie. You should release this in October.
Is it really horror though? Really? Really?
Okay, what else is it? What is it? At this point, it could be comedy.
It's kind of horror, a horror comedy, but I mean,
Still horror.
I guess. All right.
Okay, name me the horror movie you want to sit there and watch on January 4. I mean, the only thing I could think of is possibly during the Christmas season. The only exceptions I would make is like Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Only
because it has
Nev Campbell. Enough said. Moving on.
Okay.
All right. Michelle Rodriguez confirmed that the Fast.
Wait, let me. Fast and Furious 12.
Not only that, but they will go where?
SpaceX.
Ding, 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 ding. They will go to space. Yes.
Seriously?
Enough said.
Seriously?
I mean,
because that guess came squarely out of my other hole.
yes, that's a good guess. Thank you for your other hole to yeah.
Well, it's my secondary brain, but
Okay, now something that we barely discussed, but is definitely interesting. For the first time, vinyl records, or vinyl in general, has officially outsold CDs for the first time since the 80s.
are we talking about only DJs or?
No, we're talking about just sales. We're not talking about who bought them,
I
who
mean,
did not buy them, whatever.
I can only see another segment of population. I'm sorry, there's a lot of ragweed in this area. I can only see a certain segment of population that would actually still buy
over there. I know.
CDs and everything. I mean, I can understand buying vinyl. I myself have a record player, so I still have some vinyls. Shoot, I had one right next to me before, but I don't have it now.
Do you?
But I mean, I have not a big collection, but I have some. I have the Appetite for Destruction vinyl. I have a couple of. I have Meatloaf for some reason. I have Kiss. I have. Call it what you want. A very eclectic collection. I have swing and big band, and I have some classical music. And I mean, I have a lot of stuff. I do have vinyl, maybe enough for
all you guys
small...
don't know, Raka is a very good swing dancer.
I'm a Renaissance man. Modern day.
That's the word we can use. Possibly, yes. Renaissance.
Around children.
Yeah, 62% of the sales of the 376 million so far this year have been vinyl. Good golf
You sure
clap.
it's not to just scratch up?
No, not sure. Moving on to the next tidbit, Amazon has picked up the Joe Exotic series starring Nicolas Cage. How do you feel about that?
Really? I mean, we have not heard much from Nick Cage. I don't know what he's not working as hard or as.
What are you talking about? He has a movie out every month or so. I mean, are they good?
But you know what? He
He's,
should really reach out to our boy, the Crow, and throw him a bone. Johnny Depp is struggling hard times, I hear. He's doing all these movies. Just throw him a bone. Throw him a couple of scenes here and there. Maybe get him off his feet. Throw him some shekels. Maybe pair up. I'd like to see that.
I'm not sure to see that. But moving on. Okay. You remember the game Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game by Ubisoft on PS3, I do believe, or PS4?
Yes.
Well, it's being remastered for all platforms coming up for the holiday, for these holidays coming up. Gotta redo it,
Video
remaster it.
game. Go ahead.
Gotta redo it, remaster it. It's a beat 'em up. I'm not sure if all you guys have seen it or played it. It's kind of, ask your older cousins and brothers. It's kind of a Double Dragon style beat 'em up where, you could go up to 4 players and you all can beat up and continue a side-scrolling adventure going this way and fight all the 7 evil exes and have Scott live his best life.
There's some badass bosses out there.
Yeah.
I mean, video games are huge. During the pandemic, admittedly, myself, I tried to go order an online video game system. No luck. Either it was too out of my price range or unavailable. So I wasn't the only genius out there that said, if I'm stuck indoors for the next foreseen future, let me go play some games. But now everything is a digital. You don't need an actual cartridge anymore.
I'm still waiting for my
modem.
The same.
And a sidebar. I'm still looking forward to play The Last of Us and Resident Evil remastered as well. There's a lot of games out there, and we still have to touch upon that.
What
we are
about
going to touch
an Avengers? About Avengers.
Yes.
Well, anyway. Now, obviously, for all you who live on the rock, we all know about The Walking Dead, that it's going to end after season 11. You have 12 episodes going on in 2021 and 12 episodes going on in 2022.
The extended season,
yes.
which will take us into the next Halley's Comet.
But let's not forget, you also have the ending to season 10, or I guess the last episode, which was supposed to be season 10, plus another 6 episodes after that. And then basically it's a total of 31 episodes left.
And they have leaked out many rumors, I think on purpose, of who is the significant person who's going to die. We'll get to the spinoffs in a second.
Yeah.
So right now, update. Anything change your mind? Who's going to take it hard?
Well, I mean, considering I know the information about the quote unquote spinoffs.
Well, yeah, so let's not, this is not a spoiler, guys. Daryl
and Carol will have a spinoff.
Daryl and Carol are going to have a spinoff, which I just don't know how that's going to play out. So they're not going to take it. So, what say you?
Spoilers. I'd say, as much as I hate to say it, Negan's going to bite the big one.
And go against the grain of the comic book.
And you probably have, we know Michonne left, so we ain't got to worry about that. So
Maggie's coming back.
Maggie's coming back, so she'll probably be the lead, I would assume, at least for the,
Well, if Ezekiel bites it, that's no
Well,
that's
Ezekiel's
no
gone. Ezekiel, you
got
know,
cancer
he's gonna have
walking around.
a good, nice death. He's not gonna get eaten. I mean, I don't think he would get eaten by a zombie, which would be kind of cool, and I kind of like it because that would be like a big fuck you to everybody else. But they're not gonna do that. They're gonna give him the whole nice, real death.
King's exit.
Exactly. So they'll give him that, and the whole spiel. Probably give him a whole episode, which is fitting for a king. Ha 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 ha.
So like we alluded to, there's gonna be a spin-off starring Daryl and Carol. And
Daryl and Carol.
Daryl and Carol show. God knows at what point in time in the future they're gonna be. Obviously, speculation. Season 11 is going to contain the Commonwealth.
Are they gonna up? That's the question we all want to know.
I'm actually not. I mean, at this point, I love Daryl, but I'm not. I'm just so done with it that I'm not caring a bit. I do care about the standalone movie starring Rick Grimes, Andrew Lincoln.
Whenever the heck it should have been out by now, or should have been coming up.
Well, on this topic, rumor has it Andrew Lincoln is back into TWD shape, whatever that means, or he's getting back into training, or he's getting back to fit, or he's coming back to whatever. But rumors are
about his hair out, grow his beard.
Well, he didn't have to do much. It's Coven, right? Everybody has Coven hair and Coven beard. So it's happening. It's happening. You have the other spinoff. You have Fear coming up. I mean, they have their tentacles everywhere. I think they've branched out and overreached, but that's just me.
The new show coming up, the New World.
Yeah, with the teenagers.
No. All right.
Have we covered all the zombie permutations of the dimension?
I don't know. I'm not even sure. I hope so.
Any news coming out of the DC front?
The DC front. No. Actually, yes.
They've done
one thing after the whole big shebang, DC fan zone. Doom Patrol has been renewed for season 3. Okay, so. And for all those who care, for all those who give.
Those two guys out there.
For one iota, there's going to be a remake of that great 90s classic. Maybe late 90s, early 2000s classic. She's All That. But a gender bend. So it's going to be He's All That.
Okay.
Enough said.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it's starring Addison Rae something. She's a TikTok star with like 60 million followers or whatever. So, hey. It happens.
I hear rumors. I think Punisher 3, season 3 was circulated to be picked up. I'm not sure where we're with that.
What I heard is that very soon, if not by now, the contracts or the contract of the shows that were owned or partially owned by Netflix are going to run out, which in turn would bring them back to Marvel/Disney. And Jeff Loeb, the creative force or the head of Marvel TV, said that they're very interested in continuing such stories, or at least continue stories with the same actors who portrayed the roles. And up until last year, Vincent D'Onofrio, who played Kingpin, Daredevil himself, which these men.
I thought it was a fantastic show.
And John Bernthal, who played Punisher, as well as
Frank Castle.
Exactly.
Pete Cassiolini.
And everybody else, they all were down. So it's a matter of time whether or not they just get it done. So, but it wouldn't be on Disney Plus. It would be on Hulu, which, by the way, if you guys didn't know, Disney owns at least 70% of or more. So get your subscriptions for Hulu.
Umbrella Corporation. And in speaking about Umbrella Corporation, the Resident Evil series slated to come out on Netflix. Now, has that been pushed back as well, or is that still on track? Because as much as I love Mila Djokovic in the original movie line slash Resident Evil, which did take a few detours and turns and twists from the storyline of the video game, including I I'm still curious, and I will watch what the Resident Evil series it will be about, because it's not just a zombie movie. It's a worldwide umbrella plot. It is monsters, ghouls, and super soldiers. It's good entertainment. Um, and viruses and labs and mad doctors and scientists and this whole convoluted thing.
Liquors
I
and
myself I'm a super fan of the video game storyline, and I'm more than hoping that they stick to it. I hear Leon and Claire will be mainstays, and still waiting for
what about Jill? Come on, you gotta have Jill and Leon.
Jill and Brad Valentine.
And what about Leon Kennedy? Part
Brad, where's Brad? Well, Leon and then Ada Wong, and then the Alfred, and then the doctor, and then what's his name? Wesker.
Yeah, Wesker.
Wesker's the man.
You know what? That being said, guys, keep your eyes peeled for our retro game review of Resident Evil. All right.
Super classic. I put in the top 10 of video games ever made. That's
And
my 2 cents.
If anyone cares, Anna Faris left Mom after 7 seasons for other opportunities. Moving on from there, the live-action Silk TV series planned on Amazon. They're in talks. If you guys don't know, Cindy Moon happened to be the second person bit by the radioactive spider, which turned Peter Parker into Spider-Man. All right, moving on after that.
So she turns to be
Silk.
Interesting.
Yes, and it makes it better, which they would love, everybody loves, because she's POC, she's Korean American, so of course they love that. So,
Hey, who doesn't?
Hooray for Hollywood. All right, Spencer Confidential Part 2, the sequel is coming. The Mandalorian is coming out on October 30th for all those who care. Nosferatu.
Oh, well, there's a big following. Come on. That's a great show.
It is.
Everyone is left hanging. Yoda's baby Yoda. Or
child,
baby
for all the child.
Child is left in the care of the Mandalorian, and he is on the run. And basically everyone in the damn universe, galaxy, is gunning for him because he has the child with the Force touch.
Nosferatu was canceled. For all those who care from AMC, I apologize. There's a Fresh Prince reunion planned by HBO Max. It should be coming out by Thanksgiving. If you guys have Instagram, look at Will Smith's page. You'll see the picture.
Oh my goodness! Can you do the Colton dance?
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about,
but not right now.
Okay, we might have a dance off coming to you guys live,
and I'll do the episode, and
that'll come directly after our mall liquor challenge.
And yes, Candyman, the reimagining by Jordan Peele and others,
good God,
has been delayed to 2021. Why? Because they want people to go see it in the theater. It is a movie that needs to be seen in the theater with other people to get the true reaction and the horror and the feeling and the anxiousness.
Oh my goodness, what's that you're talking about? What's a theater?
Once upon a time, we were a place where
people gathered indoors.
They ate popcorn, smuggled drinks, and they watched the movie. And last but not least, Francis Ford Coppola is doing a remaster and a recut of the abysmal Godfather Part 3.
And that concludes our zombie bringing back the dead segment.
All right. Yeah. He's
All
going
you
to
grave diggers out there,
he's
let
going
it
to
lie.
he's going to re-edit and restore and remaster, and it should be out in December in theaters and on VOD. So if you guys want, after that, who knows? Probably sometime next year it'll be out to peruse at your leisure. But I'm not gonna waste any money on that. Just I'm gonna watch it because it's what we do, but I'm not wasting any money to watch that. How you feel?
I feel good. Any more significant news coming out of the woodworks for Hollywood?
I mean, besides that, you have a couple things. Netflix paid 30 million for Malcolm and Marie, or they're closing a deal, and it's a romantic drama starring Zendaya and John David Washington of Tenant slash Ballers fame, and hailing from Euphoria's creator Sam Levinson. So if they do, you'll see it very soon on your screen on Netflix.
Well,
And the
I have to quote what every NFL and sports GM says, and like all the contracts can't all be winners.
and lastly, there is Sony has announced the PlayStation event before it actually launches for the holiday. 40-minute long event to air this coming week on September 16th at 4 p.m. Supposedly, it will showcase features and updates on the first party titles, as well as more information on third party games. Though not confirming the press release, it's almost certain the console's price, release date, and pre order date will be revealed in the presentation. So get ready if you guys want to see it this Wednesday. Check it out. Obviously we'll be there and we will cover it and let you guys know. So that being said, that's the rapid news. Not so rapid. I'm Izzy.
I'm Raka, and I'll take this little quick segment right now to just inform all our listeners and fans out there that we have some big things planned for our favorite holiday, Halloween, coming up in the next few weeks and the big month of October. We're going to rock it out big time, hitting horror, our true passion and love, and all things ghoulish and nasty and scary and bad juju. So stay tuned. And again, thank you all for listening, for liking, for subscribing, leaving us messages and showing the love. And we love you back. We are hoping once things slowly inch back to normalcy, as in the movies, that we can have more interactive events and get more of you involved and actually shake your hands or elbow fist bumps or whatever.
Or air high fives. Or
Air high fives. Besos. Okay, thanks all. And again, I'm Raka, and
I'm Izzy.
we are the Deader Dudes. Have a good night. Have a good day. Save the whales.
See you, guys. Take care.